Admiral Alvin Holsey, the guy in charge of U.S. Southern Command, that's the military operation covering Central America, South American, the Caribbean, Venezuela, just resigned after 1 year on the job. These assignments usually last 3 years. So what happened?
As we are watching out of the Caribbean tonight, we are learning about this new strike off the coast of Venezuela, another one. And according to U.S. officials, the U.S. military carried out a strike against an alleged Venezuelan drug cartel boat earlier today in international waters in the Caribbean, somewhere near Venezuela. And according to our Pentagon team, for the first time, there might actually be survivors of this airstrike.
Well, during his 1 year in command, the U.S. military carried out 6 strikes on boats off the coast of Venezuela, killing 27 people. And the Trump's administration's explanation was they were drug smugglers, definitely drug smugglers. We're very sure about that. Using that absolute authority Stephen Miller was talking about. So here's where it gets interesting. And by interesting, I mean deeply disturbing in ways that should make everyone uncomfortable. According to the New York Times, Admiral Holsey expressed concerns about these strikes, concerns about, whether we should be killing people in international waters without trials or evidence or any of that pesky, due process stuff. And when you know it, the day after he voices those concerns in a meeting with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, he suddenly announces his retirement. What a coincidence.
Secretary Hegseth says Admiral Alvin Holsey will retire at the end of this year. It's not clear why it's happening now, but it's coming, of course, as the president is stepping up that military campaign in the Caribbean, not just on the boat strikes you're seeing here, but as we reported right here last night with those authorization of the CIA operation inside Venezuela.
Oh, and Hegseth recently gave a speech where he bragged about how many senior officials he's fired. Quote, I have fired a number of senior officials since taking over, the previous chairman, other members of the Joint Chiefs, combatant commanders, and other commanders. And then he added, and I'm not making this up, it's nearly impossible to change a culture with the same people who helped create or benefited from that culture. Translation, if you question me, you're gone. Translation, the president has absolute authority, and so do I. So let's get this straight. We're conducting military strikes in the Caribbean, killing dozens of people without congressional authorization, without trials, without saying anything except the Trump administration saying these people were bad guys. And then when the top military commander in that region says, hey, maybe we should think about he's out. You kidding me? And it gets better. The day before Holsey resigned, Trump publicly announced that he's authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations inside Venezuela with legal authority.
Why did you authorize the CIA to go into Venezuela? And is there more information you can share about these strikes on the alleged...
Well, I can't do that, but I authorized for 2 reasons, really. Number one, they have emptied their prisons into the United States of America. We have a lot of drugs coming in from Venezuela, and a lot of the Venezuelan drugs come in through the sea, so you get to see that. But we're going to stop them by land also. I think Venezuela is feeling heat, but I think a lot of other countries are feeling heat too.
We're not talking about intelligence gathering. We're not talking about surveillance. We're talking about the CIA being given permission to kill people inside another country. Using what authority? Oh, right. It's the plenary authority, absolute power, because apparently Trump is a king. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Venezuela's government is terrible. Maduro is a dictator. We should do something. Sure, Maduro is terrible. Venezuelan government is oppressive and corrupt. And you know what doesn't help? Death squads. You know what definitely doesn't help? The United States going full vigilante in the Caribbean, deciding who lives and dies based on what? Intelligence we can't verify? Sources we can't reveal? This is how we got Iraq. This is how we got Afghanistan. This is how we got into decades-long conflicts that cost trillions of dollars and thousands of lives because someone in the White House decided that he gets to be the judge and jury executioner for the entire Western Hemisphere. And here's the kicker. Remember when Trump was in Israel declaring the end of the age of terror? Guess what creates terror? Extrajudicial killings. Unmarked boats getting blown up in international waters. The most powerful military on earth operating with zero accountability. You can't claim to be ending terror while simultaneously authorizing your spy agency to conduct assassinations in South America. Well, you can, apparently, but it makes you a hypocrite. So Admiral Holsey is out, a 37-year military veteran, gone after 1 year because he had the audacity to suggest that maybe, just maybe, we should have some rules about killing people. And the guy who replacing him, they'll know exactly what happens if they question orders. They'll know that Trump has his plenary authority, and you don't fall in line, you are gone. Speaking of Trump's Middle East victory lap, let me tell you about how Trump turned a legitimate diplomatic achievement into a dictator audition tape. This is exactly why Tomorrow No Kings protests matter. When military leaders can't question illegal operations, when people die without due process, when plenary authority means the president can do whatever he wants, that's when you get authoritarianism. If you want to keep seeing content that actually calls this out, subscribe below. YouTube is not going to continue to show us this kind of stuff otherwise. And drop a comment, should Admiral Holsey have stayed and fought, or was resigning the right move? And show up tomorrow. No Kings, find your city, be there.